Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you tonight for an album review. Sorry that my face looks really red as well, and so does my nose. I was mostly working outside. I'm gonna be going to bed in a moment after this review, so basically, I'm returning to you for an album review, a new album review, and this is for Lamb of God's new album Omens that I just got done listening to for this new 2022 album of theirs. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for Lamb of God's new album Omens. And this is the second album I've really gotten into with their music pretty much. So yeah, I'll let you know what I thought of this Lamb of God Omens album. So let's dive into this album review. Now, the lead singer of the band's name is Randy Blight, and Mark Morton's part of the band too, the guitarist, of course. So, pretty much, I really love this album. I think it's one of the best albums this year. Um, Pretty much, Nevermore is a banger for sure. Um, Randy sounds really good with his scream delivery. And basically the overall execution of the song is sounding really good so far from what I'm listening to. So 5 out of 5 for Nevermore. It's a great song. It was a single. It was one of the first singles to come out when they announced this album, I believe. But it's really enjoyable for sure. So 5 out of 5 for Nevermore. Vanishing is the next single, or not next single, it's the next song I meant to say for this album. And it's a regular song on the album, but it did really well, in my opinion. So, Randy was screaming his lungs out very well in this track, and just you get a lot of scream deliveries from this album, and you'll be really surprised. Even the last song has a great scream moment with Randy's screaming potential. So, 5 out of 5 for Vanishing. To the Grave is a pretty awesome song. Really like this one. So, it's pretty heavy for sure. Um, Somewhat the lyrics I wasn't sure if I was on board with, but I'm really enjoying how it's sounding musically and instrumentally and all that stuff. So, 5 out of 5 for To the Grave. Ditch had some lyrics that were on the fence a bit, but still did very well, in my opinion, with the execution of the track. So it wasn't a terrible song. It sounds really good with how it's sounding. Randy's screaming potential is really good in this track. So 5 out of 5. The title track, Omens, was the second single for this album. Technically, this is the second single for the album. So sorry that I said Vanishing was the second single for this album. I'm getting my words mixed up again. I'm pretty tired because the heat really got to me today. And I might have some news for you guys in the next 2 days. And you'll be surprised what I decided to do in the next 2 days. So, yeah, I will tell you guys after I finish this week up with work and all that. But pretty much, yeah. Omens was a really good track. I really enjoyed this one. It does seem like the chorus, it relies on the Randy singing Omens quite a bit of times in this song, but it still did very well with how it was sounding. So 5 out of 5. Gamora was a pretty awesome song. Really enjoyed this track, so 5 out of 5 for this one. I like the drum work, the guitar work in this track, and just basically Randy's screaming in this track is really amazing. So 5 out of 5. Ill Designs is another good song. Pretty much all these songs are fantastic. Um, I may have some critiques about the album, but I still enjoyed the album. It was a pretty excellent album. It's probably one of their best work, their best releases since the self-titled album Lamb of God, which was in 2020, which did have some song, I think mainly one song I wasn't sure if I liked, but still, Ill Design's pretty awesome song. Sorry if I'm slurring with my wording. Um, so 5 out of 5. Grayscale is, I think, was the last single we got back in September, and that was a really amazing track too. He repeats Grayscale a few times when the chorus comes in, and it's alright, I guess. So 5 out of 5 still. I really enjoyed it. Denial Mechanism is a banger for sure. It's really fast paced and very heavy, and I really like it. So it's a short song, but it does a good job with what it's going for. So 5 out of 5. And finally, we get to the last track on the album, which is September Song, which is a very lengthy song to close out this album, but it does really well in my personal opinion. So Randy sounds good with most of his screams throughout the track. The track doesn't start with his screams till like a minute or two in the song, probably close to the 2 minute mark of the track, but get you'll have to listen to it for yourself and you'll understand why I really like this song. So it's a really good song, and I highly recommend you check this one out too as well. So 5 out of 5. Overall, production, mixing, and execution wise, I think Lamb of God's Omens album was an excellent album. It's gonna be probably contender for album of the year for sure. I was not disappointed with any of the singles, and I really enjoyed majority of the tracks. Pretty much all the songs, I should say. I have slight critiques about certain lyrics on this album, but I still enjoyed the album, and it's a really awesome album, and I highly recommend you check this one out. It's, like I said, it could be a contender for album of the year. So overall, well, it's gonna be a contender for album of the year. I should have reiterated what I said. So, overall, I think Lamb of God's Omens album was a really excellent album. It definitely rocks for sure. Highly recommend you check this album out when it comes out at midnight tonight. And first score for me, I'm giving Lamb of God's new album, Omens. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. This is a really rocking album. I really headbanged to this album so much more than the self titled album. And even though it had maybe one, two songs from that album I wasn't sure if I was on board with, I still enjoyed that album as well. So this is probably their best work to date. So 10 out of 10 for Omens by Lamb of God. Maybe my rating could change in due time. I don't know. I gotta listen to this album more and see if it grows on me after a vast amount of time. But I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 because I really like this album. Comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of the Lamb of God album Omens. If you've listened to it, it is coming out pretty soon. I'm recording this at 11:30 or whatever. It's like 11:32, so it's going to be coming out very soon. Pretty much all the songs will in just less than 30 minutes. So, if you enjoyed this album review for Lamb of God Omens, comment below and let me know what you guys thought of my review for Lamb of God Omens album review if you enjoyed it. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can to support the channel. The news I'm going to tell you guys about will not happen till I deal with what I got to deal with in my personal life. It's something that I've been thinking hard on, and I'm pretty much, well, gonna have to quit my job in the next 2 days or whatever. Like, not yet, but pretty soon. Very soon, I should say. So I made a decision coming to that, and yeah, I just have to. I have my reasons why, but I don't want to reveal it on this platform yet until I basically sort out my own shit in life and all that. So hopefully you understand and respect my privacy on that matter for right now until I reveal it, why I quit and all that. So yeah, but that's what's happening right now. It's just how to deal with someone that I don't really like. So, and yeah, but pretty much I hope you enjoyed this album review for Lamb of God Omens album review. I did the best I could to make it as good as possible. Stay safe, take care, guys, and as always, I will see you in my next review.